morning and welcome back to Living on a UK State Pension. My name's Tanya, I'm 69 years old and I've just completed a year of living on my state pension, and I am going to continue, but I'm going to allow myself a little bit of money out of my civil service pension, not too much because I've got things I need to do around the house. Some of them might be quite expensive. So I'm erring on the side of caution. I have had a bit of a spend up, but I'm on week 3 at the moment of period 1 of my new financial year. My financial year runs to November because of the 13 payments that I have with my state pension, and I work my state pension on a 4-week cycle. It suits me. It keeps me ahead of my bills all the time because I'm paying every 28 days and not on a calendar month. So I actually have some free money. More towards the end of the year, again when I have a holiday from paying the council tax. My last council tax payment is due on the 22nd of December. That's it. I don't pay another one until April next year, but I will keep banking that money. So that's a reserve money, £145 every 4 weeks. So that's a nice little earner sitting there come spring when maybe I need things for the garden, etc. Or anything that happens to my car. My car I have now had 9 years. It's only just done 50,000 miles. When I bought it, it only done 12. So we had 2 years of lockdown where there wasn't a lot of mileage. But I have to say, it's been good. But I am getting fed up with it. I think maybe I need a new one. But this will allow me to keep saving and have that money spare. So this video is once again going up late. It's been a manic week, whereas I thought I'd got tomorrow relatively free till lunchtime when my friend is coming over and we're going for our Christmas meal and doing our present exchange. I've now got to run my brother to Colchester Hospital, which means me missing Kettlebell because my sister's car has broken down and the mechanic can't mend it in time. He's looking for certain parts because it's an old car. She thinks she's now resigned herself that she's got to buy a new car. So I've got to run my brother. His appointment is 8:50 at Colchester Hospital, so it'll be an early start and we'll get up there and hopefully he'll be one of the first to be seen and I'll be home and sorted. But I do get annoyed, and I'm quite open about it, when things trespass, so to speak, on my exercise days, shall we say. My Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So anytime on those days, as long as it doesn't clash with my exercise. My sister and I take it between us, and we've had all different days of taking him, so fingers crossed we can get something sorted. But it's I'm not sure if it's once every 16 weeks now, so it's not too bad if I do miss one occasionally. Anyway, in this video there's a couple of cooking bits in there. I also bottle up the sloe gin, and shopping videos Tuesday, plus making the Dundee cakes because I hope to make them over the weekend. I've kept the weekend free, hence why I'm meeting my friend tomorrow, so I can make the cakes. I can wrap them and get them put away until I dress them ready for Christmas. But they're only Dundee, so it's a case of just putting them in a bag and dressing them up as presents. But I've done the sloe gin, that's been bottled, and I got 6 bottles. So I'm really pleased with that out of the litre of gin. I can't remember how much it cost. I want to say £15, or was it 16 then? So what I may do when the gin's on offer over the next week or so, as soon as I get paid on the 22nd, I may put a bottle of gin in the cupboard ready for next year. So I've got it in advance while there's offers on gin, or wait till Easter, because there's probably offers again. There's always offers when there's celebrations of some description, isn't there, in the UK. So I shall do that. And again, it's a bit of a long video because of all the bits and pieces that I've been up to. So thanks for watching. Anyway, bye-bye. Hello, good afternoon. I've decided I'm going to decant the sloe gin today. I had to get my husband yesterday because he came to pick Bertie up to undo the lids because I'd put plastic on them. They'd really grip tight. So all I've done in the new bottles that I've got, I've just put some boiling water, just scalded them a little bit. I mean, let's face it, the alcohol will kill any germs that are in the bottle anyway. So just let them dry for a second. Do I need a funnel? I suppose I better have. Can't afford to waste any. I'm just going to tip some hot water down this just to make sure it's clean. That's it. Now, I've strained the first one. There we are, strained the first one. And I've put the berries back in there. There might be some more comes out of it. Too much in that one. Bring that up a tiny bit. That's it. I'll add a bit more to that in a second. The second one now. I'll put the lids on these two. I'll put those in the first jar. I'm going to have to get some more bottles out. I thought these were £2.50. They must be 200. I made a litre bottle, didn't I? Tiny bit in that one. Oh, damn, too much. Stuff is lethal. It's so sticky. There we are. Screw these down. That's right, I'm going to get another couple. Finish tipping that in. Right, I've just put some hot water in the next two. That's it. Swirl them round. Give them a good shake out. Let's see. Just short. Let me tip a bit out of there. That'll do. Two slightly smaller ones, just under 200. Actually, it was 200 in the thing. So give these a good tighten up so that the seal. So 6 bottles of sloe gin, and once I've made the labels I'll show you. It's been out to the freezer, and I've brought in a turkey bolognese, a pork stew, a chicken stew and a chicken tray bake. The turkey bolognese, it's one of the smaller portions. Put them in the fridge. Also brought in 600 grams of chicken. I got 237, and I'll be making this into 400 grams of it. I'll be making it into a curry, maybe 500. One of the steaks, if I can get a decent one off, I'm just going to have it with rice to do the fajita seasoning shortly, so that I've got a store of it. I've just been trying to think. I had to get my phone out to check what day it was, because I've lost the plot so far this month, I think. And I've got a double choc in number 10. 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I've hardly eaten a thing because I've been so busy. Right, fajita spices. Right, the easy thing is that they're all tablespoon of some description, either a half, 1 or 2. So this is my tablespoon. Half a tablespoon of hot chili powder. So I'm going to guess that's half. 2 of the sweet smoked paprika. So move it around in there a bit. One, two of that. Ground cumin, 1 tablespoon of ground cumin. Loosen that up as well. That's it. 1 tablespoon of garlic salt. Oops, that's about it. Half of coriander. Yeah. And 1 of oregano. Yeah, just put a little bit more. And all of it can be mixed up. Got an empty jar there and an empty jar there. Give this a good mix up. Right, I filled one. I'm just going to write on there fajita, spice. And the good thing is I can shake it on using the holes at the top. Just do this one, right on this one as well. So 1 2/3, I'd say, maybe 1 3/4, it's filled. So these will go in the cupboard, and once the chicken has defrosted, I'll take one out and I'll put some of the fajita mix on it to start marinating. Time to make the curry. Sorry, I've got the microwave on, defrosting the chicken because I should have got it out a bit earlier. And in the pan I've got 1 1/4 onions, because unfortunately I had to peel back. It was 2 onions, but I lost the outside leaves of it because they were all soft and not very nice. So from Lidl, some of their cheap onions. You have to take the good with the bad, I'm afraid. Saute that down. Right, I've just weighed the chicken out and there wasn't 600 grams in that bag, so I must have already split it so that I knew it was 400 grams for Bertie if I used it for Bertie. So there's 400 grams here. I'm just putting it into the garlic and the onion. So the fajita chicken's going to have to wait for another day. Maybe when I get one of the pieces of turkey out, I shall test the spices out. Cook this off a little bit because I want to add the curry paste. I've literally probably got enough left in this jar for this meal, and that's it. I'm going to need another jar. And after I'm cooking this up, the cheap golden rice, because I've just got out of the freezer a load of stock to use up so I can make space in the freezer. Moved it over to a higher gas. Now, is that boiled? Yeah, it is. I'll be back in a minute. So it was one of the cheap ones. As I say, I must have put 400 grams to one side for Bertie and kept 200. Perhaps there's an odd 200 in another bag. So it was £2.37 for 600 grams on offer instead of £4.38, it says. Right. So not adding the paste because that's got oil in it. And this is Patak's Madras curry paste, spice paste it's called, but I call it curry paste. It was always called curry paste. Change the names of things now. Get what I can out, and then I'll put some tomato juice in there to get the rest out. So I suppose that's roughly 2 tablespoons in there so far. I could do it more actually, but I haven't got it, so it's going to have to do. On my shopping list. Just going to give the jar a good old rinse round with tomato sauce that I've got, as in my own tomato sauce out of the freezer. I've cut 3 sweet potatoes up ready to go in. Cooking all those spices so it takes the rawness out of the spice and cooks through. One stock cube, because I'm using fresh stock, not all of it, some of it's for my savoury rice. Give that another stir. It's almost like it's going to catch. That's the stage you want. Now if you're using curry and if you're using turkey that's already cooked after Christmas, you can put your turkey in at the last minute and then simmer it on the slow cooker for a little while. It doesn't need to go in at the beginning because it'll just break down completely. So I'm going to add, before I add that, the rest of the tomato sauce, which cleared the jar out. And some stock. Split it between the rice and the curry. Sorry, I don't know how much it filmed and how much it didn't. So, stock cube in, green beans in, some liquid in, half of the frozen stock cubes. The other half has been used for the savoury rice on the back there. Just waiting for that to come back up, and I shall cover with a plate. Once this has come back up to boil, this is going on the slow cooker on high for a couple of hours. The meat will be practically cooked now. It's the potatoes and the beans. Right. There we are, on high. And I shall check it after a couple of hours, but I shall check the rice in about 15 minutes. My eldest daughter owns her own company, and she brings me bits and pieces from companies that she works for. Now, one of the companies that she does work for is a printing company. So she brings me samples of card from the printing company, and these are like stickers that they do. So I have got in my garage, which I've just brought in, a Big Shot machine. Now I bought this second hand about 8 years ago. It cost me £70 8 years ago, second hand. And it had a number of dies with it as well, cutting dies. So I'm going to cut some label shapes out of the various cards. Big Shot didn't work properly, so I ended up bringing in my guillotine and just cutting these labels and writing them. And these stickers, they're meant to stick to glass, but they're not sticking very well. So when I go down the town, I may have a look for something else. It's a shame, because they look so nice on the bottle. But I'll see what else I can get hold of. But there we are, 6 bottles of gin, 1 litre of gin, can't remember, it was 250 grams of sugar, and I've got 6 bottles out of it, so I can't complain. And the sloes I picked for nothing. Hello, I'm just portioning up the curry. It's cold now, and about, I don't know, it must have been about an hour and a half before I knew I was going to switch it off. I added about half a tin of chickpeas, just to add a bit more protein and to make it go a bit further. So I put 1 scoop in each to begin with. Just make sure there's 3 potatoes in each portion first, and then I can eke the potatoes out. 4. I'm going to add a little portion over there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, damn, dropped it. Meat and juice. Good old plastic rubber spatula for getting every bit out. A little bit in there, rest in there. The reason I've done the very small one is it takes me back to my childhood. My sister and I used to have bread and butter with curried potatoes on. I think I've mentioned it before. So my mum always put extra potatoes in for us, and I just thought, do you know what, one lunchtime I could have that this week. I could have curry on toast with some salad on top. Variety. It's all to do with variety, so we don't get bored. There we are, 5 portions. And an odd one of potatoes, mainly potatoes, for a lunch. So the meat cost me £2 something. The sweet potatoes were on offer and I've still got loads left. Chickpeas were the cheap chickpeas. I suppose it must be about 80p's worth of curry paste, which is probably one of the most expensive parts of it after the meat. So I need to put curry paste on my shopping list now. I found a load of electrical tape. I mean, rolls and rolls of it in the cupboard. So I'm trialling it as labels. I thought I might as well use it up. I've got yellow, obviously I can't write on black, but I've got yellow, red and green that I can use up. Saves me having to buy more labels. 4 going in the freezer, 2 in the fridge because one's lunch, one's dinner. Now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 5 meals in there, which will take me through to Tuesday. Right, I'm just making lunch. I'm back from Aqua Size and it is 22:12. I don't have breakfast, so this is my brunch. Toasted a piece of the cheap wholemeal bread. Gonna mash the sweet potato on the top and the sauce. Chickpeas. There we are. Oh, I'm looking forward to this. Curry always tastes better when it's a day old. So here we have a bit of salad, and it is a bit as well. So I haven't got any peppers left. But I've got tomatoes and lettuce, and work out whether I can afford a cucumber as well as some other bits from the shop, because I want some money for a week today when the cheap veg comes in. I know it's only going to be 8p. 8p each for carrots, swede, Brussels, potatoes. Trying to think what else was there on the list now. Shallots, I believe. Shallots and some crispy chickpeas that I did yesterday to have with salad. I had half. I've got my vitamin C drink and a cup of tea. Drink plenty at the moment. They're saying it will help ward off flu possibly and stop you getting mucousy quickly if you do happen to get it. Drink plenty. It's a real worry at the moment. My brother has told me to bring a mask with me tomorrow. So I've put one in my bag ready, because where are you going to get infected? In a hospital, unfortunately. Number 11. Oh, orange Skinny Crunch. I can see it. I can get hold of it. Skinny Crunch. Number 11. Just very quickly, I want to touch on the flu epidemic that is hitting the UK at the moment. There's a lot of people being admitted to hospital. They're asking us to go back to masks again, and all the usual things that we did during COVID. Wash your hands regularly, wear a mask in public places, ventilate your house regularly so that you get fresh air in your house, and stay at home once you're sick, which is probably quite obvious. So the best thing to do is to make sure you've got plenty of food, so that if you do happen to get the flu, you haven't got to go out for anything. You can make do with what you've got. One of the interesting things that I did read the other day in the newspaper was vitamin D. People that take vitamin D regularly, you're boosting your immune system as well. So it helps fight off the flu straight away, but also it may lessen the effect. I have had the flu jab. I know it's controversial with some people, but I'm at risk because of my asthma. I've not had, other than a sore arm, touch wood, any bad side effects from it, so I'm a little bit more protected. Do keep this sort of thing in the house. They are still in date because I don't use them. I think my granddaughter was the last one to have one when she came, but they're still in date to the end of 2026, and that's cold and flu day and night, as does Ohm, so haven't cost a great deal, but they have got caffeine and phenylephrine. which helps alleviate headache, fever, blocked nose, aches and pains, sore throat, and daytime drowsiness. So, got those. It does say, interestingly, I read a pharmacist that had written in the paper about the flu epidemic we've got at the moment, and she says, do not buy anything that suppresses the cough. Coughing is natural and will get the fluids, the gunk, so to speak, up and out, and that's what's needed before it settles on your chest or your lungs. So drink plenty so that I know this is a weird conversation, drink plenty because the mucus, it will remain runny and therefore easier for the body to expel. So I just thought I'd mention that because hot drinks when you're poorly, very, very important. There is a reason for that. I think that's it. I think protect yourself as much as possible. I say I'm taking my brother to the hospital tomorrow and I've already put a mask in my handbag ready. So I really don't want the flu. I had the flu in December 2009 and it turned into pneumonia and I was very poorly, very, very poorly indeed. And that's what led to this, because the weight just fell off me. I couldn't eat, I had no appetite, could hardly breathe at times, in all honesty. And I never ever want to have something like that again, never. So there we are. I know my videos are very higgledy-piggledy at the moment, but my life is very higgledy-piggledy at the moment. So please bear with me. I hope they're not too disjointed for anybody. I've tried to make sure when I splice them together, so to speak, there is a bit of continuity in there. But as always, thanks for watching. I am hoping to get to the shop shortly, possibly tomorrow after I've sorted my brother out and before my friend comes, or maybe even with her, and get another £20 worth of either dog food, or I did notice they've got some fresh toys in Lidl, so I may get some more toys or treat the pets, treat the cats and dogs, the local cats and dogs, with the other £20 I owe the charity. So thanks for watching. Without you, I wouldn't be able to do this, so it's really, really appreciated. And I don't tell you often enough how good I think you are, all of you. But thank you, and bye-bye. Take care. Me again, sorry. I've literally had to stop. I stopped the video where it was because my phone was ringing. And I film on my phone. It was my brother actually, and he's cancelled tomorrow because I don't know how else to put it, but he's actually so shocked by the news this morning. And they're saying, he's just relayed to me, I haven't seen it myself yet, but I shall turn the TV on shortly and have a look, see if I can do a catch up on the news. And they're saying that the flu jab we have all had is no good against this strain of flu that is currently out there. So it's even more important to protect yourself and go back to basics now. He's cancelled his appointment. He spoke to the lady this morning. He goes to hospital to have an injection in his eye to slow down macular degeneration that he's got. So they've said they've booked him in again for the end of January, in the hope that all of this flu business is out of the way. And we were talking on the phone, and while I was talking to him on the phone, I was looking up the Spanish flu from 1918 to 1920, and they believe that it killed anywhere between 50 million and 100 million people. And it was strain, and I'm going to put it on they know now what strain it was. And also, when I find out what this new strain of flu is, I'll put that on the screen as well. The one from 1918 and the one from 2025. And apparently, because they forecast 6 months in advance what they're putting together in the flu jab, they've got it wrong this time. So I'm not protected. So I will be protecting myself as much as possible through the food I eat, through the clean habits that I do. Obviously, I do go and do things in public, but yeah, I will try to stay as healthy as possible so that if I do happen to get it, then I've got the strength to fight it, unfortunately. So, go back to basics, isn't it? There we are. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.